So we're talking about social equity. So first and foremost, um, first people like, what is social equity? So most states, when cannabis got legalized, and pretty much every state has a social equity program. Most So like Oregon's a good example. The people and groups that were hurt by cannabis when it was illegal were, certain minority groups or certain populations were hit harder by when cannabis was illegal. And so now that it's legal, most states want to give, they don't want just a bunch of rich white guys or people that look like me to come in and own all the dispensaries and farm. They want this to be truly equal, and they want everyone to have a fair chance to get into this industry, which is a noble goal. Now, that said, states have made every possible mess up in rolling out these programs. It's not always fair. There's been all kinds of scams. It might say, like, okay, Sally is a nurse and a minority and struggled, and we're going to give her a license, and we're going to require that she owns 51% of the company. But then Sally goes out and finds investor loan sharks, and they set up some kind of weird entity structure where she actually loses her equity on year three, and they get control of it. So there's been all kinds of scams and weird things around social equity. So for one, I mentor and we tell people, if you are one of those social equity applicants and you're getting a license or got a license, first off, yeah, connect with me or someone here at Dope CFO. We can help you navigate and make sure there's not some loan shark investor or lender out there that's going to try to steal your license out from underneath you as you build your business, because these can be very valuable. So say, for example, when I think Chicago issued 50 dispensary licenses for, an area of 10 million people. Just having the license, forget actually having the dispensary built on the corner, just having the license in your hands was worth millions of dollars, because any one of those stores could generate, easily 10 to 20 million a year in revenues. And so the license can be very, very valuable just on its own. But here's another issue with social equity. A lot of times, and I actually met this exact person, a nurse, lady, she was, I don't know, 29, and she got a license. She had never run a business, and she did have, I think she had a college degree, but she might not have. And so these people need help. Traditionally CFO comes in to help the CEO just on the finance and accounting. Well, we want to go a lot deeper with these social equity people. They're going to need help building the business. They just have no idea how to build a business. And so they're going to need help, whether it's like, oh, how do I grow weed? Oh, we better bring in Wally. He'll show you, he's a PhD expert in growing weed, or we need to bring in this lighting company or whatever it is. We're going to be able to help them in all ways, because it is going to be difficult. And the states want these social equity licenses to succeed, including raising capital. And so, if I say, let's call her Sally, that nurse, we put her in a room, she needs to get the dispensary built, say she needs $10 million. Great. We're going to put her in a room with a bunch of VCs and loan sharks. They're going to shred her to pieces unless I'm there to defend her and be like, hey, slow down. We've got a financial model. And I can help prepare her for those calls. So we've got to be able to be there and support that side of the social equity side. Hold on a sec. It's not. So anyway, I'm going to put a link in here in a minute, but actually just what I just said, the importance of social equity programs: correct past wrongs. So it provides opportunity for those affected by the war on drugs. It encourages diversity, boosts economic opportunities, and invest in communities. And so then there's all kinds of different eligibility requirements for these social equity programs around residency, convictions, income level, etc. Now, if we're helping as a CFO or CPA, we want to make sure they're meeting all those requirements. We definitely don't want any dishonesty anywhere. Sometimes that comes up. Someone trying to trick the social equity program or whatever. Oh, I got a speeding ticket, so that means I broke the law. Maybe I can get that license or whatever. And then there's different state programs. I'm gonna put this link in here. This is just a this is very, very state specific. So you can't just say, you can say a little bit like I have about just in general, but then say you're in New York. You need to go look at the New York social equity program. They're going to have their own set of rules. It's different from Arizona or Oregon. And so you'll have to look each state specifically. So if you're helping clients in a certain different state, make sure you know that state. This, I believe this has some link to the state by state. Well, it has a few of them in here, but you can also Google real easily other links as well. Let's see what else has got. Oh, structuring, entity structuring will be very important on this front because, again, they're probably going to need investors and there may be some complex setups, even just for the cannabis side and 280E protection. So it might get complex really quickly. We might have a couple of partnerships and a C Corp and maybe a real estate company, maybe an equipment company. So there may be different compliance setups as well. We want to, again, make sure we're not getting out of compliance with whatever the state says because at the end of the day, the state generally is not going to be tricked by, I put all the investors over here in that entity and they control everything, but over here the entity holds the license. And so there's just a lot to think about on these social equity licenses. We want to make sure with any business, including social equity that we're doing, what I call rock solid audit ready accounting. That includes tick marks and tie outs every month. We do a permanent audit trail. We want to make sure that these clients are always ready to go, whether a state auditor comes in or the IRS or just a due diligence team for cap raise. So that's kind of some of the highlights around social equity programs. There's a lot of compliance. We need to be aware of that. And we can provide a ton of support to these owners in many ways outside of accounting and tax as well. So, all right, we'll see you all next week, and thanks for showing up.